What's up, everybody? Today we're
Go ahead.
and
Did you say it? No.
So today we're gonna be doing the Torah. It's not a fun time right now, but hey, I mean, like, hello, kids. Like, oh, look at those trees, look at everything. Like,
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
and
We're going to be
this
doing
is
the
my
Torah
water.
portion today. It's going to be called Balak,
Have anybody heard of that?
and it's going to be in Numbers 22,
22. Got it.
verse 2,
Verse 2. Got it.
through chapter 25, verse 9.
Verse 9. Got it. Got it.
All right, now do you want to read first, or do you want me?
Thinking brain. Yeah.
Thinking brain?
Yeah.
Okay, you read as much as you want.
I kind of want to read all of it, but at the same time, no. Okay. Ready?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
So what's up, guys? Let's do it again. Okay. So you can do it.
No, right there. Just read the first one. Read the first paragraph. You don't have to read. Don't read all of it. Don't be silly. Read that.
And Balak the son of Zippor.
Zippor.
So all that was in great dread people, because there were many. Moab.
Moab.
They went the fear of the people of Israel. And Moab said to those of Midian, "This horde will now look up all that is around us, as the ox licks up the grass of the field." Balak the son of Zippor, who was king of Moab at the time. That was a lot of reading.
Oh yeah.
Because I say big brain, I mean I'm going to read a lot.
Oh, big brain.
Yeah.
All right.
If I say big brain, then I'll read a ton.
Okay.
Sound good, Mommy?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, where did you read to?
Where did I read
Grass
to?
of the field?
I
Oh.
did it at at that time part.
Oh.
So you can read?
Oh, Zippor. Okay, so Balak. I'll just start from the.
There's a fly on there. Get away, stupid fly.
Okay.
Get away from our stuff.
So Balak, the son of Zippor,
Fly.
who was king of Moab. That is disgusting.
I gotta know.
Don't do it. The son of Zippor, who was king of Moab at that time, sent messengers to Balaam, the son of Beor, at Pithor, which is near the river in the land of the people of Amal. Amal?
What?
Amal.
Amal.
To call him, saying, Behold, a people has come out of Egypt. They cover the face of the earth, and they are dwelling opposite me. Come now, curse this people for me, since they are too mighty for me. Perhaps I shall be able to defeat them and drive them from the land. For I know that he whom you bless is blessed, and he whom you curse is cursed. So the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed with the fees for divination in their hand. And they came to Balaam and gave him Balak's message. And he said to them, Lodge here tonight, and I will bring back word to you, as Yahuwah speaks to me. So the princes of Moab stayed with Balaam, and God came to Balaam and said, Who are these men with you? And Balaam said to God, Balak, the son of Zippor, king of Moab, has sent to me, saying, Behold, a people has come out of Egypt, and it covers the face of the earth. Now come, curse them for me. Perhaps I shall be able to fight against them and drive them out. God said to Balaam, You shall not go with them. You shall not curse the people, for they are blessed. So Balaam rose in the morning and said to the princes of Balak, Go to your own land, for Yahuwah has refused to let me go with you. So the princes of Moab rose and went to Balak, refusing to come with us. Once again, Balak sent princes, more in number and more honorable than these. And they came to Balaam and said to him, Thus says Balak, the son of Zippor, let nothing hinder you from coming to me, for I will surely do you great honor, and whatever you say to me I will do. Come, curse these people for me. But Balaam answered and said to the servants of Balak, though Balak were to give me his house full of silver and gold, I could not go beyond the command of Yahuwah my God to do less or more. So you, too, please stay here tonight, that I may know what more Yahuwah will say to me. And God came to Balaam at night and said to him, if the men have come to call you, rise and go with them, but only do what I tell you. So Balaam rose in the morning and saddled his donkey and went with the princes of Moab. But God's anger was kindled because he went, and the angel of Yahuwah took his stand in the way as his adversary. Isn't that interesting? Yahuwah did this to Balaam. Why wouldn't he do this to us?
Yeah.
He would deliberately put angels in our path to be adversaries. Think about that.
That's not cool.
Yeah. Now he was riding on the donkey, and his two servants were with him. And the donkey saw the angel of Yahuwah standing in the road with a drawn sword in his hand. And the donkey turned aside out of the road and went into the field. And Balaam struck the donkey to turn her into the road. Then the angel of Yahuwah stood in a narrow path between the vineyards, with a wall on either side. And when the donkey saw the angel of Yahuwah, she pushed against the wall and pressed Balaam's foot against the wall. So he struck her again. Then the angel of Yahuwah went ahead and stood in a narrow place where there was no way to turn either to the right or to the left. When the donkey saw the angel of Yahuwah, she lay down under Balaam, and Balaam's anger was kindled, and he struck the donkey with his staff. Then Yahuwah opened the mouth of the donkey.
Of the butt cheek.
And she said to Balaam, what have I done to you, that you have struck me these 3 times? Okay, first of all, Nate,
What?
if Sky started talking to you, would you talk back or would you freak out a little bit?
I freak out.
Yeah. So do you think that in this time around Balaam that maybe they were used to seeing things like that? Because he doesn't get all freaked out. He literally says after that, and Balaam said to the donkey, because you have made a fool of me. So he's literally talking back to a donkey.
I think I'd talk back.
You weirdo.
I would.
But I mean, it's just interesting right here because it says that he talked back to the donkey.
I'd talk back to
But he wasn't afraid. If I seen Sky or any of the animals start talking, I would be freaked out. But he didn't seem to be freaked out in this.
I wouldn't be freaked out.
There's nothing in here that indicates that. So there must have been something going on like that.
Maybe like a baby
Like
dog.
he had already seen stuff like that in the idolatry and stuff. I don't know. And the donkey said to Balaam, am I... Oh, wait. Hold on. Because you have made a fool of me, I wish I had a sword in my hand, for then I would kill you. And the donkey said to Balaam, am I not your donkey on which you have ridden all your life long to this day? Is it my habit to treat you this way? And he said, no. Then Yahuwah opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the angel of Yahuwah standing in the way, with his drawn sword in his hand, and he bowed down and fell on his face. And the angel of Yahuwah said to him, why have you struck your donkey these 3 times? Nate, you're moving the camera. Move your feet. Get them down.
Oh, come on.
The donkey saw me, and I turned aside before me these 3 times. If she had not turned aside from me, surely just now I would have killed you and let her live. Then Balaam said to the angel of Yahuwah, I have sinned, for I did not know that you stood in the road against me. Now therefore, if it is evil in your sight, I will turn back. And the angel of Yahuwah said to Balaam, go with the men, but speak only the words that I tell you. So Balaam went out with the princes of Balak. When Balak heard that Balaam had come, he went out to meet him at the city of Moab, on the border formed by the Arnon, at the extremity of the border. And Balak said to Balaam, Did I not send you to call you? Why did you not come to me? Am I not able to honor you? Balaam said to Balak, Behold, I have come to you. Have I now any power of my own to speak anything? The word that God puts in my mouth, that must I speak. Then Balaam went with Balak, and they came to Kiriath Huzoth. And Balak sacrificed oxen and sheep, and sent for Balaam and for the princes who were with him. So that must have been a sin offering, because it was oxen and a sheep. And sheep. Several sheep, it looks like. But so many people claim Yeshua as that blemish-free lamb. Please.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
That's a lie from the New Testament. And in the morning, Balak took Balaam and brought him up to Bamoth Baal. And from there he saw a fraction of the people. You know, you're not doing that to me again. You're going to have to wait. And Balaam said to Balak, Build for me here 7 altars, and prepare for me here 7 bulls and 7 rams. Balak did as Balaam had said, and Balak and Balaam offered on each altar a bull and a ram. And Balaam said to Balak, Stand beside your burnt offering, and I will go. Perhaps Yahuwah will come to meet me, and whatever he shows me I will tell you. And he went to a bare height, and God met Balaam. And Balaam said to him, I have arranged the 7 altars, and I have offered on each altar a bull and a ram. And Yahuwah put a word in Balaam's mouth, and said, Return to Balak, and thus you shall speak. And he turned to him, and behold, he and all the princes of Moab were standing beside his burnt offering. And Balaam took up his discourse, and said, From Aram Balak has brought me, the king of Moab, from the eastern mountains. Come, curse Jacob for me, and come, denounce Israel. How can I curse How can I curse whom God has not cursed? How can I denounce whom Yahuwah has not denounced? For from the top of the crags I see him. From the hills I behold him. Behold, a people dwelling alone, and not counting itself among the nations. Who can count the dust of Jacob, or number the 4th part of Israel? Let me die the death of the upright, and let my end be like this. And Balak said to Balaam, What have you done to me? I took you to curse my enemies, and behold, you have done nothing but bless them. And he answered and said, Must I not take care to speak what Yahuwah puts in my mouth? And Balak said to him, Please come with me to another place, from which you may see them. You shall see only a fraction of them, and shall not see them all. Then curse them for me from there. And he took him to the field of Zophim, to the top of Pisgah, and built 7 altars, and offered a bull and a ram on each altar. Balaam said to Balak, Stand here beside your burnt offering, while I meet Yahuwah over there. And Yahuwah met Do not make me correct you in this video. That's not the way you get my attention. Sit up right now. Sit up right now. And Yahuwah met Balaam, and put a word in his mouth, and said, Return to Balak, and thus shall you speak. And he came to him, and behold, he was standing beside his burnt offering, and the princes of Moab with him. And Balak said to him, What has Yahuwah spoken? And Balaam took up his discourse, and said, Rise, Balak, and hear. Give ear to me, O son of Zippor. God is not man, that he should lie, or a son of man, that he should change his mind. Oh, that is interesting. Because so many are like, oh, Jesus, he's the Son of God. Really?
Yeah, that's not true.
And then it says, or Son of Man. So this whole triune thing that is, people are commenting on my Facebook, there's your triune, right? You want to say your triune. Okay, Yahuwah says no. No.
Yeah.
God is not man,
Yep.
that he should lie. Or a son of man. So he can't be his son that the New Testament says he has. Because Yahuwah doesn't even say that he has a son that serves the purpose of Jesus, of what Jesus did. Yahusha. So, right there, I mean, and we're reading the Torah portion. Has he said, I will, has he said, and will he not do it? Or has he spoken, and will he not fulfill it? Behold, I received a command to bless. He has blessed, and I cannot revoke it. He has not beheld misfortune in Jacob, nor hey, that's rude. That's so rude. He has not beheld misfortune in Jacob, nor has he seen trouble in Israel. Take that out of your mouth. I don't need you swallowing that. And you shouldn't be
swallowing it.
Give me it.
What?
Behold, I receive a command to bless. He is blessed, and I cannot revoke it. He has not beheld misfortune in Jacob, nor has he seen trouble in Israel. Yahuwah their God is with them, and the shout of a king is among them. I'm pretty sure we had this discussion in the truck today. Yahuwah their God is with them, and the shout of a king is among them. God brings them out of Egypt, and is for them, like the horns of the wild ox. For there is no enchantment against Jacob, no divination against Israel. Now it shall be said of Jacob and Israel, what has God wrought? Behold, a people. As a lioness it rises up, and as a lion it lifts itself. It does not lie down until it has devoured the prey, and drunk the blood of the slain. And Balak said to Balaam, do not curse them at all, and do not bless them at all. But Balaam answered Balak, did I not tell you all that Yahuwah said that I must do? And Balak said to Balaam, come now, I will take you to another place. Perhaps it will please God that you may curse them for me from there. So Balak took Balaam to the top of Peor, which overlooks the desert. And Balaam said to Balak, build for me here 7 altars, and prepare for me here 7 bulls and 7 rams. And Balak did as Balaam had said, and offered a bull and a ram on each altar. When Balaam saw that it pleased Yahuwah to bless Israel, he did not go, as at other times, to look for omens, but set his face toward the wilderness. And Balaam lifted up his eyes and saw Israel, camping tribe by tribe. And the Spirit of God came upon him, and he took up his discourse and said, the oracle of Balaam, the son of Beor, the oracle of the man whose eye is opened, the oracle of him who hears the words of God, who sees the vision of the Almighty, falling down with his eyes uncovered. How lovely are your tents, O Jacob, your encampments, O Israel, like palm groves that stretch afar, like gardens beside a river, like aloes that Yahuwah has planted, like cedar trees beside the waters. Water shall flow from his buckets, and his seed shall be in many waters. His king shall be higher than Agag, and his kingdom shall be exalted. God brings him out of Egypt, and is for him like the horns of the wild ox. He shall eat up the nations, his adversaries, and shall break their bones in pieces, and pierce them through with his own arrows. Pierced. Here we go. He crouched, he lay down like a lion, and like a lioness, who will rouse him up. Blessed are those who bless you, and cursed are those who curse you. And Balak's anger And Balak's anger was kindled against Balaam, and he struck his hands together. And Balak said to Balaam, I called you to curse my enemies, and behold, you have blessed them these 3 times. Therefore now flee to your own place. I said, I will certainly honor you, but Yahuwah has held you back from honor. And Balaam said to Balak, did I not tell your messengers whom you sent to me? If Balak should give me his house full of silver and gold, I would not be able to go beyond the word of Yahuwah, to do either good or bad of my own will. What Yahuwah speaks, that will I speak. And now, behold, I am going to my people. Come, I will let you know what this people will do to your people in the latter days. The latter days. And he took up his discourse and said, the oracle of Balaam, the son of Beor, the oracle of the man whose eye is opened, the oracle of him who hears the words of God, and knows the knowledge of the Most High, who sees the vision of the Almighty, falling down with his eyes uncovered. I see him, but not now. I behold him, but not near. A star shall come out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel. Okay, so that scepter, that's Judah. And I can show you that that's Judah, because we're told in Scripture that that's Judah. And I'm going to show you right now, because I screenshotted it when I was reading the word. Let me find it. Just bear with me, because I'm going to show this right now. Psalm 60. Okay? I'm going to read the little bit that I have here, where it says, it's actually Psalm 60 verse 6, is where it's around. No, you come sit down right now.
I'm coming. He's so bad.
God has spoken from his sanctuary. In triumph I will parcel out Shechem, and measure off the valley of Succoth. Gilead is mine, and Manasseh is mine. Ephraim is my helmet. Judah is my scepter. Moab is my wash basin. On Edom I toss my sandal. Over Philistia I shout in triumph. Okay, so he tells you right there who the scepter is. It's not Yahusha, Jesus. It's Judah.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go. It shall crush the forehead of Moab. Really? What does this go back to? There's in Genesis, right? Genesis 3, where y'all are saying, oh, it's Jesus who's going to crush the head. No, it's not. It says it right here in context. Okay? Right here in context. It shall crush the forehead of Moab. The scepter will. Who's the scepter? Judah. See? The New Testament isn't right about that, because these are Yahuwah's words. Exactly his words. And you're going to sit there and refute it. You're going against Yahuwah, because these are his words. Not mine. I didn't say them. I'm just reading from his word. And break down all the sons of who? Sheth. Edom shall be dispossessed. Seir also his enemies shall be dispossessed. Israel is doing valiantly, and one from Jacob shall exercise dominion, and destroy the survivors of cities. Then he looked on Amalek, and took up his discourse and said, Amalek was the first among the nations, but its end is utter destruction. And he looked on the Kenite, and took up his discourse and said, enduring is your dwelling place, and your nest is set in the rock. Nevertheless, Cain shall be burned when Asher takes you away captive. And he took up his discourse and said, alas, who shall live when God does this? But ships shall come from Kedem, and shall afflict Asher and Eber, and he too shall come to utter destruction. Then Balaam rose and went back to his place, and Balak also went his way. When Israel lived in Shittim, the people began to whore with the daughters of Moab. These invited the people to the sacrifices of their gods, and the people ate and bowed down to their gods. So Israel yoked himself to Baal of Peor, and the anger of Yahuwah was kindled against Israel. Okay, so let's back up. Let's go into Ecclesiastes. What does Solomon say? What happened is going to happen again. Okay? So Yahuwah's people as Israel are going to go back to worshiping Baal. And they're not even going to know it, because the world is going to trick them to believe that they are worshiping the Son of God. But Yahuwah doesn't say anything about him having a Son of God that we're supposed to worship. At all. People seriously need to do their research, because right here we're reading the Torah portion, and I'm exposing all of the lies that you guys are being told from the New Testament.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
Right here in the Torah portion.
Mm-hmm. Look. You might not see.
And the anger of Yahuwah was kindled against Israel again. And Yahuwah said to Moses, take all the chiefs of the people and hang them in the sun before Yahuwah, that the fierce anger of Yahuwah may turn away from Israel. And Moses said to the judges of Israel, each of you kill those of his men who have yoked themselves to Baal of Peor. You see that? You see that? Everybody says, oh, you know, the yoke is a heavy burden. What? That's not even in context what it's talking about here. It says that you are yoked to Baal. And Yahuwah comes to set you free. And when does he come? He comes in the end times, when he has to bring his destruction, because you stiff-necked people who want to claim Yahusha, Jesus, as your Messiah are going to be destroyed. And he's going to destroy you because he wants to marry you back. Not his alleged son that the New Testament claims that our prophets can't even back up. Or Yahuwah himself. So you guys really need to study this out and find yourself faithful.
Everybody study this out right now. Or get whacked with a paper box.
And behold, one of the people of Israel came and brought a Midianite woman to his family in the sight of Moses, and in the sight of the whole congregation of the people of Israel, while they were sleeping in the entrance of the tent of meeting. When Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he rose and left the congregation and took a spear in his hand, and went after the man of Israel into the chamber and pierced both of them, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. Thus the plague on the people of Israel was stopped. Nevertheless, those who died by the plague were 24,000. This is interesting because in the New Testament in Matthew, we are reading about Joseph and Mary. Okay? And Yahuwah brought me this today. He took me to the book of Ezra, based off of a post from a brother who was talking about something completely different. But that's besides the point. It was the lineage of those who were from exile, from Babylon. And it says right here, okay, I'm kind of bouncing around a little bit, that the man and the woman were both pierced through. Okay? And the curse was gone. And everybody says, well, Yahusha, Jesus, was pierced for the iniquity of sins. Right? But you're sinning still. Your sins have not been forgiven. They are forgiven on the Day of Atonement. And only then. And Yahuwah does it. He doesn't need anybody to come and die for your sins. He atones them.
Yeah, that's true.
It's blasphemy if you're going to claim that.
Yeah, because you're
And
gonna be lying.
because you want to continue to claim that, now plagues are going to come upon you. And who's going to pierce your idol? Who's going to pierce your idol to wake you up? Who's going to pierce your Yahusha Jesus? You're not going to get it.
Yeah.
Because destruction's going to come.
Jesus is not God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Out of the mouth of babes speaks the rivers of life.
Yeah, because everybody, you guys might think Jesus is God, but no. I think it's 100% fake.
Good boy.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
You guys, you have to check out this Bible. Torah. It's on Chrome or whatever. You just have to look it up and then go ahead and read it. I'm reading a lot, so go ahead and check it out on anything. On computer, iOS, mobile, tablet, and everything. So go check it out.
All right. So that's the plague on the people of Israel was stopped. Nevertheless, those who died by the plague were 24,000. All right, let's read the Haftorah.
Mommy,
We're doing this.
I'm really hungry. What is that?
All right. This is going to be in
Micah.
Micah chapter 5, verse 6 through chapter 6.
Guys, you gotta check
Verse
this out.
8.
You have to check it out. It's awesome. It's where you have to read it, and once you read it, you won't say it's Jesus anymore. You better not.
You got to read it in the Tanakh and to understand it.
Yeah.
And you got to read it in context,
And
not through the lens of Yahusha Jesus,
Yeah.
like the church has indoctrinated you to believe.
Yeah, and if you say Jesus, then you have to go do this Torah. Yeah. And if you read it and you still say it's Jesus, the Torah is gonna make you say no Jesus. It's gonna make you. At some point.
Okay.
Check
They
it out.
shall shepherd the land of Assyria, and with the sword, and the land of Nimrod at its entrances. And he shall deliver us from the Assyrian, when he comes into our land and treads within our border. Then the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many peoples, like dew from Yahuwah, like showers on the grass, which delay not for a man, nor wait for the children of man. Sit down. And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the nations, in the midst of many peoples, like a lion among the beasts of the forest.
Wait,
Is that not true? Everybody who is Torah observant, and even the Messianics, we know that we're around deceptive people. We know that they're plotting out our death, basically. They want to get the population down to 500 million. If you read or research the Georgia Guidestones, you're going to see this.
Yeah,
That this is like the 10 commandments of the world of Babylon. But you know what? Yahuwah reigns over all of that. But it's just interesting to know that, we're being told right here, and this is in Micah.
Yeah.
So it says, like a young lion among the flocks of sheep, which when it goes through, treads down and tears in pieces, and there is none to deliver. No, he's not going to deliver that, because he's going to allow you to go through the destruction. Those who are still in idolatry, those who are just in Tanakh and believe that Yahuwah is the only Savior, those are the ones that are going to be the remnant that rise up. And they're not going to be torn apart. Like it says right here, that those who are still in idolatry with Yahusha Jesus, or whoever your God is that is not Yahuwah, because he is the one true God.
Yeah, we know Yahuwah is the one God. There's no other gods than him.
Your hand shall be lifted up over your adversaries, and all your enemies shall be cut off. And in that day, declares Yahuwah, I will cut off your horses from among you, and will destroy your chariots. And I will cut off the cities of your land, and throw down all your strongholds. And I will cut off sorceries from your hand, and you shall have no more tellers of fortunes.
Mommy, so it's kind of like Pharaoh. Kind of, right, Mommy? It's kind of like Pharaoh where all his chariots and everything.
Oh, yeah, when he was, plunged into the sea, yeah.
That's true, yeah.
I just got this popped in my head right now. Okay, so it says, I will cut off the cities of your land. So if he's cutting off the cities, we need to be out of the cities because he's going to cut off the resources.
Yeah.
So he's telling us right there, get out of the cities and throw down all your strongholds. See, they're going to throw down all of it. And I will stop doing that. Sit down right now. Sit down and put your hands down right now. Put your shirt down now. Put your shirt down. Nobody needs to be seeing your belly, dude.
Hungry. I'm starving to death right now. I'm literally about to starve to death.
Because you just had chips. Yeah, nice one.
That's not why.
And I will cut off sorceries from your hand, and you shall have no more tellers of fortunes. And I will cut off your carved images and your pillars from among you. And you shall bow down no more to the work of your hands. And I will root out your Asherah images from among you and destroy your cities. What do you think the Asherah images are? Has anybody gone and researched that? I'm going to research it here after a little bit because I read that and I was like, ooh, there's a rabbit trail I'm going to go down. And in anger and wrath, I will execute vengeance on the nations that did not obey. Hear what Yahuwah says. Arise, plead your case before the mountains, and let the hills hear your voice. Hear your mountains, the indictment of Yahuwah, and you enduring foundations of the earth. For Yahuwah has an indictment against his people, and he will contend with Israel.
Yeah,
O my people, what have I done to you? How have I wearied you? Answer me, for I brought you up from the land of Egypt and redeemed you from the house of slavery. And I sent before you Moses and Aaron and Miriam. O my people, remember what Balak, king of Moab, devised, and what Balaam, the son of Beor, answered him, and what happened to Shittim, to Gilgal, and that you may know the righteous acts of Yahuwah. See, he's telling us to recall all of these things.
Mommy, is it done?
He's telling us to recall all of these things. Sit your butt down right now.
Is it done yet?
With what shall I come before Yahuwah and bow myself before God on high? Shall I come before him with burnt offerings and calves a year old? Will Yahuwah be pleased with thousands of rams, with 10,000s of rivers of oil? Shall I give my firstborn for my transgression? Oh my gosh. Should he give his firstborn for his transgressions? Isn't that what Yahushua Jesus claims that his father did for him? And Yahuwah's against this, right? Yahuwah is against this. So why would he allow it in the New Testament? This is really something to think about. The fruit of my body for the sin of my soul. Really? So let me read it. Shall I give my firstborn for my transgression, the fruit of my body for the sin of my soul? He has told you, oh man, what is good. And obviously, that's not good. And what does Yahuwah require of you? But to do justice, and to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God. With your God, not an idol who claims to be his son.
Yeah. Right, Mommy?
This was a very good Torah portion. And I am very glad that we got to read this together. Because I hope that it opens up your eyes to see the
I hope
deception
you guys understand it. And if you don't,
in the New
then
Testament.
you have to keep doing it. And if you don't understand it, still see it as Jesus. Keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, and keep doing it. And I promise you will say no Jesus at all at some point.
What's name?
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and end this Torah portion.
So that will wrap it for today's video. So everybody, goodbye.
Shabbat Shalom. Have a nice night,
Mommy,
everybody.
I kind of want to hear the video. Can I hear it?